Why are so few teams tanking? Now this was interesting to me because I hadn't thought about this. So why are so few teams tanking nowadays? So as Raptors fans, at least most of us in this community, we are Raptors fans, and we just had to sit through a season where the Raptors did some tanking, got themselves the 7th best odds of the first overall pick, ended up with the 4th pick and selected Scotty Barnes. But tanking has gone out of fashion a little bit. You know, we grew up, for a lot of you guys, you grew up in the trust the process era where the Sixers consistently, year after year, put out lineups that would, you know, obviously everybody goes out to win games, but the Sixers tend to put out teams, or attended, I guess, is that the word? Put out teams that wouldn't have success and would lose a lot of games. They had some decent draft success, yet some non-success in some of the drafts, but ultimately they've gotten themselves into a contender situation that they need to tinker around still, but they're close. They're close. They're probably a trade away from being true contenders. So, the answers here are flattened draft lottery odds, recent playoff success by smaller market teams, the advent of the play-in tournament, which, you know, gets teams to go up and get there. New subscriber on YouTube. Shout out Ben S. He's not here. Oh, Jesus. That's a membership. Ben S. Become a member on YouTube again. Shout out to him. He supports the brand. Thank you, Ben. If you're watching this, thank you, Ben. The advent of the play-in tournament. That's part of it. I'm going to get into that. Lack of turnover in front offices. I don't understand that. I guess lack of turnover, so front offices get replaced less, so you're more, well, lack of turnover. I don't understand that one. Flat draft lottery odds has 100% deterred a lot of tanking. I mean, it used to be the worst two teams, you flipped a coin, whoever won the coin toss got their one pick, but other than that, everybody was in their order. So you're bad, you automatically gotta get a pick. But now there's situations like, you know, the Raptors. They had the 7th best odds and they got the 4th overall pick. The year before, the Chicago Bulls had the 7th best odds. They moved into the top 4 as well. Got Patrick Williams. The year before that, the Pelicans had 7th best odds. They draft Zion Williamson. The year before that, the Sacramento Kings go into the top 4. They ended up in the top 2 and select Marvin Bagley. Bad pick, but with all this flip-flop, you're better off maybe getting some more success out of your teams. Combination of factors, flattened odds, play-in, playoff revenue possibility. Right. New front office means they want to tank for a fresh start. Oh, okay. Well, I don't really know about that. I think that the real success of smaller market teams, I don't feel like that's anything. I don't think they're looking at like the Raptors maybe, or I don't think they're looking at like the Jazz really with that success. I don't think they're looking at that because, you know, Milwaukee, they've been building up something, and they just got a good year of the playoffs and ended up, you know, winning their close games. I don't think it's that. I think that the draft lottery odds have really deterred teams from doing it. Tanking for years doesn't typically work. I mean, yeah, Mr. Bros is the best. Look at the Timberwolves, look at Sacramento Kings. Just because you're bad every year doesn't mean you're going to be good. And the New York Knicks are another one in that situation. Free agent signings and new coaches really changed that situation. But the draft picks were not what changed it for the Knicks. Tanking all the time. I mean, they didn't draft well. Nikola Keenan was a bad pick. Kevin Knox was a bad pick. Sure, they got Porzingis, but they traded him away for a not so good return. Last year, I mean, Obi Toppin's still developing, so it's not really tanking for them. There's a lot that goes into being good. Tanking constantly isn't going to make you good. It creates a bad culture. A bad culture means players don't want to play for you. The vibes are not immaculate, like, you know, with the Raptors, maybe the vibes. So that's part of it. That's part of it. The play-in tournament is a big deal because the Washington Wizards last year ended up as the 8th seeded in the end. They are a team that probably would have committed to tanking. They probably would have committed to tanking 3/4 of the way through the season max, if not for the play-in tournament. But the prospect of being able to get into the play-in tournament, and you know you've got Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook who want to be winning players, that fueled the end of season surge by the Washington Wizards to get into that. It was exciting for the fans. And that wouldn't have happened. We'd have never seen a run like that from the Washington Wizards if it wasn't for the play-in tournament. So the play-in tournament is necessary. Personally, I don't like tanking. I think that the Raptors maybe did a good job of doing it. Okay, we did it 1 year. It helped us out. I hope that we don't really do it again unless it's deemed necessary. But I don't like going into this season with the mindset that we are going to tank. I don't want to have to go into a season knowing that we're going to be bad, like the Sixers did for a number of years, like, you know, the Timberwolves have done for a number of years. They are trying to put together a winning team. They've tried to make trades be better, but it's just not really working out for them. And I don't want to fall into that pit like these other teams, like the Timberwolves, like these other teams, like Sacramento Kings. You know, just an endless cycle. Get a star. Finally, he's good. Wants to leak. You don't put good players around him. So I hope we go in with a good mindset with the Raptors. If it happens that we're not doing well, then, you know, maybe we have no choice. But I personally don't like tanking in the long term, like for a long amount of time. Chicago Bulls trading for Vooch also was also playing. A good point, a very good point as well. And they were fighting for that spot for the last day. Makes more exciting basketball for more teams. So I can understand why they have it. I personally don't particularly like it because it devalues more of the regular season for like the top 8. I understand why it's in place, made for some very exciting games like the Lakers versus the Warriors, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. I understand why it's there, though I may not particularly support it. But bottom line, I am not terribly fond of the tanking aspect. Next, we're going to move into the favorites. Who is going to win each conference? For the East, Brooklyn the favorite, no doubt. Milwaukee coming off of a championship, naturally get a couple votes. Miami Heat get a vote. I thought that was surprising. I think the Miami Heat are maybe about a 3 or 4 seed. Cannot see them winning the East. You know what? Maybe winning. I don't know if this means regular season or if this means going to the NBA final. Like I can see the Heat built as a regular season team. I can't really see the Heat built as a like playoff, like true contender. I think they can cause problems. I think they have a chance to surprise. I don't know who in their right mind is voting for the Miami Heat over the Brooklyn Nets, the Milwaukee Bucks. West, most people vote for the Lakers, naturally. Golden State, Clay's not coming back for a little bit of time, so I'm not 100% sure what's going to be going on there. Utah, I feel like Utah's going to regress as the West gets better. Denver have a chance. If Jamal Murray comes back healthy and playing well, Jamal Murray will give the Denver Nuggets a chance. The champs, there's some votes for the Brooklyn Nets. They're obviously the favorites. Some votes for the Lakers. And only one for the Bucks. One for the Heat, which again, I seriously don't agree with. When the Miami Heat come against the Nets, it's over. If the Miami Heat come against the Lakers in the final, it's over for them. That's just how I see it. And that's the end of that survey.